Don't remember, Kiva is a Swahili word meaning agreement or unity. When we looked up what Kiva was, we looked on their website, and Kiva told us that we are a non-profit organization with a mission to connect people through lending to alleviate poverty, leveraging the internet and a worldwide network of microfinance institutions. Kiva lets individuals lend as little as $25 to help create opportunity around the world. That was quite a mouthful. So let me break it down into numbers and statistics. Since Kiva is completely non-profit, every cent of the money someone donates will go directly to who they're sponsoring. Most charities take a small portion of the money donated to them from their donators to help with, maintaining their website, keeping up with everything. But Kiva gets those donations from large companies such as Chevron, Visa, and Sam's Club. And they always take the money that normal people give them and give that out. It is almost guaranteed that the people who you are sponsoring will pay you back. It is a loan, so it's not just handing out money. They are expected to give it back, and there is a 98.95% return rate on your money, and then you can give it to other people who need the money. Kiva has 145 field partners and 458 volunteers around the world in 58 different countries. Just average people are the ones who help the people in other countries. They are the ones who keep Kiva running, and without them, Kiva wouldn't even be here. When you give the money to these people, they learn how to be self-sufficient, they stabilize their finances, their businesses grow, and they make enough money to not have to depend on the loans that you give them. They become independent. Often these people are in poverty. They do not have enough money to support themselves and their family. And when you give them money, they can help their families, they can help the people around them, and they can learn to support themselves. Kiva uses microloans to fund individuals. Microloans are basically small loans. The reason they're small is because United States dollars they're worth a whole lot more in other countries. For instance, one of the people that we are sponsoring, $1 US equates to about $2.60 in Peruvian money. So if you donated $25, for instance, that would be almost more than double, $65 in their money. So the system works wonders for people, and it doesn't have to be much to help someone in need. Thank you.
So how does all that money get to them? Well, that's where the 146 field partners come in. What are field partners, you say? They're simply just organizations that are in the countries that they're representing that help Kiva for one reason or another. They can be a church, a bank, or just a group of people wanting to do some good. They help disperse loans in whatever country they are situated in. But not only do they distribute, they also collect stories. They go around and get people's stories from the community and write them down, get background information, and take them back for people who don't have internet or, they just go out into the community. Kind of like door-to-door salesmen, except they give you money. So they're pretty much the door-to-door part. But anyway, then the volunteers come back. They review the information, then they send it off to Kiva, and then that's where we come in. We donate the money, and they've got little bars, and it's fancy. Go look it up sometime. Now, who benefits from the donations? I would like to say we all do. The people who most directly benefit from them are, of course, the people who are lent to. But in my experience, if you give people money, that leaves a nice warm feeling in your heart, too. Not only that, but the Kiva's supporters, field partners, business companies, even Kiva itself gets name recognition in things like the Wall Street Journal or even the Oprah Winfrey Show. Kiva itself doesn't benefit, but its goals and its, what it stands for gets out into the community. So everyone really benefits from this. Now, Kiva is currently in about 59 different countries. That's not all the countries in the world, but it's certainly a lot, and they're always working to get more. There's some countries that obviously don't need it as much as others, but the countries stretch out pretty much all across the globe, several different languages, and yeah. One limitation that they do have is the field partners, because they pretty much need them to go and distribute the loans and go out into the community and collect stories. Now, when you're choosing a person, they have a page with their background information, their stories, why they want the money, what they plan to do with the money, how much money they want. And you can sort by categories and go through, there's like millions of pages of these people. And they all need money, and you just go through there and donate to people you feel like donating to. Okay. Again, each of these people need monies, and they're actively trying to build themselves into a better place. They're trying to use the money to help themselves and their community and help their families. And that's what's so great about Kiva is sorry, drawing a blank right here. Yeah, it helps them grow as people. Interesting note, there are teams that go around that are just groups. These teams are people who pool their money, and on the site you can join them and help donate to these teams, and they'll go out and choose people for you. There's teams of atheists, Christians, groups that rally under a certain cause or person. There's really just a team for anything. Our UU group is pretty much like a team, although not officially recognized. And Kiva runs on volunteers, like all volunteers. They can be filmmakers, professional transitioning careers, lawyers, consultants, financial planners, firefighters, engineers. Anyone can be a volunteer, and there's volunteers from everywhere. They are ranging from about 21 to 60 years old. They usually didn't know a different language just to help out in the community, but they don't always have to. So yes, I'm going to turn it over to Hayden now.
I'm here again. We're going to have a discussion at the end of the sermon. So if everybody could think of a few questions that you'd like to ask, and if you could save those questions to the end, and we will try our best to answer those.
Hello, everybody. I'm Hayden Dutschke. I'm actually reading for my best friend, David Burke, today. He couldn't make it because he's sick with his throat. So, we will be talking about how our 7 principles relate to Kiva. And we'll start with the first one. The first principle is the inherent worth and dignity of every person. The Kiva Project aims to give people the opportunity to improve their quality of living, no matter what conditions they were born into. The second principle is justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. This project is just in that those who have the best intentions in what they wish to do with their loans are the most likely to receive those loans. The equity and compassion provided by Kiva are self-explanatory, as Kiva provides help to those who truly need it, without putting anyone's value above anyone else's. The third principle is the acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth. Kiva does this because, rather than just giving, Kiva also encourages people to help themselves and to create their own businesses and livelihoods so that they can better their lives. By helping people better their state of living, it gives them more time and freedom to explore their interest in spirituality. This also works with the fourth principle, which is the free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Many people who Kiva gives help to are surviving day by day in uncertainty, which makes it difficult to devote time or energy to searching for truth or meaning in their lives. By helping relieve people's hardships, it also helps them in their spiritual pursuits. The fifth principle is the right of conscience and the use of democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. This applies to Kiva in that those who get loans are selected by the donors, who choose who to give to. In an ideal world, anyone who needed loans would be able to get them, but as this is not the case, Kiva's system is a democratic one, where people choose the requests which they believe to have merit. The sixth principle is the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. The assistance that Kiva gives doesn't only reach the individuals that they help, but by encouraging businesses, they create economic growth within communities. Every life changed by Kiva is a small step towards eliminating poverty and reaching the goal of world community. This ties into the final principle, the respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. We can improve not only the lives of a few, but the lives of those around them as well. In this way, by donating to Kiva, we can plant the seeds of positive change in countries far less fortunate than our own, and make a real difference in many people's lives.
Hi. So Julien and I are going to be telling you about some of the people that we decided to sponsor. So here's some of the people that we chose. We chose a man named Yerson, and he is from Colombia, South America, and he needed money to start up a business making hair curlers because he's been doing it since he was young and his father did it. And he decided that it would be a good thing to, I guess, manufacture. And we decided to pick him because we knew that if we gave him the small amount of money, it would be able to grow. Like, the small amount of money will continue to raise money because he would be making a whole business, and he would need just the money just to start up the business. And he has 3 kids, and he works making the metal mesh curlers with his wife. And so this kind of shows compassion, which is our second principle. And another group of people that we chose is it's a group of people called Amanecer de los Incas, and they're from Ecuador, and it's a group of people who do all different types of things. They sell groceries, vegetables, prepare food, sell artisan crafts, and groups are really easy to, or they're a good option to finance because they can provide support for each other. If one person cannot pay it off a certain loan, groups are responsible for paying off loans. And so it kind of motivates people to use the money wisely and responsibly, I guess. And so that's one of the groups that we chose. And Julien's going to talk about some of the other ones we chose.
Right. One of the people that we chose is named Roran, and she lives in Cambodia with her husband and 4 children, and she's been running a grocery store for a little over 2 years, and she only gets about $4 a day. 2 of her children work at a local hotel and get about the same as she gets, and her husband is a rice farmer who gets only about $3 a day. She has requested a loan of $800 so they can purchase a walking tractor so they can farm their farmland easier and improve the business. Her goal is to expand the business and send her children to school to get their bachelor's degrees. We chose her because we wanted to show compassion, which is, the second principle, and, inherent worth and dignity of everyone, which is the first UU principle. We thought it was very nice that she wanted to send her children to get their bachelor's degree when she lives in such a bad area, and she has this big goal in mind. So we chose her. And then the second person we chose was Juana, and she is a 42-year-old woman who lives with her partner and 3 children. For the last 20 years, she has been washing and ironing clothes for people in her community around her. Last year, she received land from one of her family members, and she built them a house on the land. And she is requesting a loan to get electricity in her house. She says that with the washing and ironing, she has to do it by candlelight, and the candles smoke up all the clothes and stuff like that. Her goal is to eventually save up enough money from her business from ironing and washing to get a refrigerator, because on the side with her ironing and washing and all that, she sells food in the city, and she makes treats and drinks and different types of food that people will buy from her. And her goal is to save up enough money to eventually buy a refrigerator so she can make a business out of the making food and sell it. We chose to sponsor her because she's been a client of a foundation, Foundation Campio, which is a Kiva partner in El Jimador. She has been part of this program for several years now, and she has shown that she has huge responsibility with money and that she can handle it and save it all. So we chose her because we know we can trust her, and we'd like her to have, electricity and a refrigerator and get her dream goal out there to approve. That's who we chose.
How does the project benefit the teen group and the UU? As the UU, we are seeking the truth, and we would like to help each other out with stuff. And how does the Kiva project benefit our UU and our teen groups? It benefits us a lot of ways, and we are helping the third world countries. Some people may think their life may be fading, and so we are reaching out to help them to start their own business. And however, it benefits us now because it allowed us to reach out around the world, and later in the future, we would make our contribution grow every year.
What was our goal for taking on this project? As we, the people of the living on earth, we have our difficulties living through life. It is said that we all went through fire, and someday that fire will turn out to be a beautiful flower. Our goal was to help people born in unfortunate circumstances to help themselves. We know that if we send out these messages to them, they may still have the hope that life still has its soul. We know that what it is like to stand alone and in the dark. If we could just have our free spirit send out the world, it would give us so much faith.
And is the project suitable, and how and why? We have thought that Kiva was a great way of letting our voice heard, and it is wonderful of helping people who really need us. And yes, Kiva project is suitable because the money is paid back. It can continuously be reinvested. So the project is self-sustaining. It only takes a few dollars to brighten others' lives.
What we do to expect to learn from this experience is when we first started Kiva, we were not so sure if we liked to pick the women or the men. We only understood that if we picked the women, they would most likely start their own businesses. And that, on the other hand, if we pick the men, they may not start their own businesses as quickly as the women would be. Then we have decided to pick both men and women because this will would give them equal rights. Since we have chosen this project, we expect to learn more about the hardships faced in the third world countries.
What do we want others to learn, like you guys? We, as the teens, we have given our love and hope to those who needed us. We have learned so much through Kiva. It helps us to understand the ways of life in others. People are having, and they are trying to do anything that they can to support their families. They have taught us a value of life, and it doesn't take much to give out love. Even though life could have shaded of grays, we have shown the people that there are rainbows are ahead of them. We are so glad that we could help others to help themselves.
Now it's time for questions or discussion. Do we have any takers? Yes? Oh, can you pass it? Yes, thank you.
Hi, I'm Carolyn.